Well, hi there. I am so glad you are joining me today. Now, I don't know about you, but there were certain stores that when I was younger, I didn't just go and shop in. I would escape my life in these stores. I would just disappear. And for me, it was the music store, Sam Goody. And you'd walk in with maybe 20 bucks in your pocket and somehow spend hours there. My mom would drop me off and I would just wander around. I would flip through rows and rows of CDs, tapes, and records. And sometimes you would buy an album because of the cover. Sometimes somebody who worked there would say, "Hey, I think you'd like this guy. You really need to listen to her. Madonna rocks." And today we have more than 100 million songs available on our phones. I use Spotify almost every day. Used to be Pandora. I love the convenience. I do. But recently I was talking about this with my son. He told me artists do not make money the way that they used to, which I knew a little bit about. But that conversation, it stuck with me. It made me realize how much buying music has changed. It's just changed so drastically. And it is so connected to retail. There was a time when supporting your favorite artist, it meant just walking into a store, buying their record, buying their cassette, buying their CD. And that purchase, it didn't just support the artist. It supported the store. It supported the employees and the associates. It created community and conversation. And it just honored discovery. And we have lost that. Welcome to another episode of Sorry It's Discontinued, a podcast about the reality of retail, the people who keep it going every day, and the stores and brands we all love. And today, I want to ask, what happened when we stopped buying music? What did retail lose when these stores disappeared? And with nostalgia making such a big comeback, could these music stores become important again? Because there are some. They're not going away anytime soon. And it is so good, y'all. Sorry. It's discontinued. Retail has always been about more than just products. We know it's about discovery, connection, conversation, the experience. And record stores were some of the best examples of that. Employees were not just checking people out, not checking them out like, hey, checking you out, but checking them out at the registers. They were music experts. You'd walk in looking for Pearl Jam. Oh yeah, 90s girl. And you'd leave with Soundgarden or Alanis Morissette. And you came in for one CD and you'd walk out with 3 because someone convinced you need to try to listen to these new artists. Retail employees were influencers before influencers even existed at that time. And the store itself became part of the experience. And isn't that exactly what great retail still does today? Whether you're buying a fragrance or makeup or books or music, the best stores don't simply just sell to you. They introduce you to something you didn't even know you were looking for. Now we have to go back. Yeah, we have to go back because there wasn't one day when record stores disappeared. It happened one invention at a time. So we are going back to 1982 when the CD arrives. The compact disc, it was introduced in 1982. Suddenly, music sounded cleaner. There were no scratches. You didn't have to worry about vinyl, no rewinding your tapes. Did you ever do that? Use your pencil and you'd like do the little thing and you'd rewind it, your little tape, and then it wouldn't get stuck, especially the ones you listen to over and over again. And by the 90s, CDs had become king. Record stores, they were booming. Tower Records was opening stores all around the world. Sam Goody was in your malls everywhere. Musicland, it had hundreds of locations. Buying music, it was an event that everybody wanted to go to. In 1999, though, Napster changed everything. A college student named Sean Fanning created something called Napster. For the first time, people could download music from each other over the internet. For free. Millions of songs, almost overnight. And the music industry panicked. Record labels sued, artists argued. Some people thought it was stealing. Other people believed music should be freely shared. Regardless of what you believe, the way people got music, it totally changed forever. And then in 2001, Apple introduces the iPod. Instead of carrying a backpack full of CDs or giving your friends the disc that you made or the tape that you had made. Do you remember making those tapes? Anyway, instead of carrying all of these CDs, you could carry thousands of songs in your pocket, which was the slogan, 1,000 songs in your pocket. People were amazed. And then in 2003, the iTunes store, it changed how people would buy music. If you loved one song, you usually bought the whole album. But now you could just buy the one song for 99 cents. And suddenly albums didn't matter as much anymore. The singles mattered more. And that changed how artists made music. And then in 2008 to 2011 came Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Amazon Music. And instead of owning music, we rented access, collections. Instead, we built digital playlists. And without people buying physical music, stores started disappearing. Tower Records filed for bankruptcy in 2006. Sam Goody slowly vanished from malls. Musicland disappeared. An entire retail category. But of course, people did not stop loving music. They simply stopped gathering and getting together in stores to listen to it. Everything moved online. And recommendations, a lot of times they come from our algorithms now. So instead of asking an employee, hey, what's your favorite album this week? Is there any new artists that you're like really into? Spotify simply just says, because you listen to Fleetwood Mac, then you might like to listen to this person. Even though the playlist, my playlists don't really change. It's like I'll go to a different playlist theme and it's all the same songs. And I just want to hear different songs. It drives me crazy. But it's not the same. I love Spotify. I do. But it's just different. Fun fact, Tower Records once had nearly 200 stores worldwide. It wasn't just a record store. It was a destination for people who loved music. You go and chill and listen to music like all day long. And in 2008, independent record stores created Record Store Day. Still exists. And artists release exclusive vinyls for this day. Fans actually line up. They used to do it before, they do it now. And stores throw parties. And thousands of independent record stores around the world, they still participate on this very special day every year. It's become one of the biggest celebrations of brick and mortar retail in the music world. That's so cool. And Record Store Day, Just so you know, so next year, because it already happened, it was in April of this year, but next year it's going to be Saturday, April 17th, 2027, Record Store Day. Yeah, put it on your calendar. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions about streaming is that if an artist has 1 million listeners, they must be millionaires. Unfortunately, that is not often true. An artist can have millions, even hundreds of millions of streams and earn far less than people imagine because every stream only pays a tiny fraction of a penny. Isn't that sad? That sucks. And for decades, someone who bought your album once, now they can listen to your music 1,000 times and you might earn only a few dollars. And that's why today's artists, they don't just make music anymore. They have to build a business. They have to tour. They have to sell fragrance. They sell t-shirts and hoodies, limited edition vinyls, special collector albums, meet and greets, fan clubs, exclusive merchandise. Many artists now make more money from the concert parking lot than they do from the songs that people are actually listening to. That's just freaking screwed up. Now, something that's happening right now, it's so fascinating to me that yes, everything AI and streaming and downloads, it is digital in many ways. The fastest growing physical music format, the fastest growing is vinyl. People are buying records. They are buying records, y'all. They are buying records. They are collecting. Ownership still matters. Artwork still inspiring. Collecting, it still matters. People don't always want to buy the easiest option. They don't always just want convenience. Now people really, really crave the experience. They want to go in instead of add it to the cart. And that is why independent record stores, they are actually growing again because discovery feels good. It feels different. And it's also incredibly powerful when a human interacts with you. Young people, many of whom have grown up with Spotify and digital downloads, they're discovering something many of us who grew up in the 80s and 90s experienced decades ago, what it's like to hold a music album, reading the lyrics and notes from their favorite artists. I remember my Madonna cassette for True Blue. It had the fold-out little brochure and I could read all the song lyrics. And these kids, they're looking for the same thing. They are wanting to own something physical and to go into an independent record store because retail and these stores, they create experiences that the internet, it simply cannot. Now, vinyl record sales have now surpassed CDs in the US for the first time since the 80s. It is a remarkable comeback. Many people thought they were gone forever, and Gen Z is one of the biggest drivers of these sales. These collectors, they are growing up with streaming, but they are wanting a record because it feels meaningful. Now, what could this mean for retail? People are showing us time and time again, they want more than just add it to the cart. They want discovery. They want conversations, recommendations, the excitement of stumbling across something you didn't know you needed or existed. That is something technology cannot replace. And that's what record stores, they used to do. They would help customers figure out what music they really wanted to get into. Now, am I being naive? Could record stores really help retail, help artists again? I really think they can. And then when I go to Google Maps, I look up, whatever map situation you like, or even Waze. But if you look, there are many record stores that are popping up. People are shopping. They are wanting the record, the CD, the t-shirt, a purchase that does not just support the store. It supports the artist. It supports the designer who created the album artwork, the company that pressed the vinyl, the local venue, an entire creative ecosystem. And hasn't that always been what retail is? Connecting creators with communities, building more community, places that are safe where our kids could go and hang out, where we can go and hang out and listen to music, live performances, meet and greets, listening nights where everybody gets together, collector nights. It's endless. Okay, so I'm going to list a few places that you can still go and check out, that these places exist. And there's more and more of them that are popping up. Independent record stores. They are growing again, y'all. Like Amoeba Music in California, one of the most famous independent record stores in the world. Grimey's in Nashville, Tennessee, beloved by artists and fans alike and by Taylor Swift, especially during Record Store Day. Electric Fetus in Minneapolis, Minnesota, a legendary shop closely associated with Prince's hometown. And a place that I have been to, Waterloo Records, an iconic Austin, Texas record store that has been supporting local and national artists for decades. Now, even here in Sugarland, Texas, there is ZT Record Shop right inside First Colony Mall, or the Half Price Books. They have an incredible record collection. Or you could go down to Houston, Texas. Sig's Lagoon Record Shop in Houston on Main Street. They've been there for almost 21 years. There are so many places that are popping up all over the world. A place where discovery can be impactful and really create that experience for you, take you out of whatever you're dealing with, listening to music. Not just selling products, not just adding things to a cart, but creating moments and community and experience for you to find joy. So if you have an independent record store near you, go there, treat yourself, love on yourself, listen to some good music, and ask the person behind the counter who works at the store what they're excited about. If there's an artist that they started listening to, maybe you'll leave with a new artist and support a musician who needs it. And keep a small business alive. Very important. Now, before we leave today, I don't want to highlight a specific discontinued product, but I want to remember the CD listening station. They had them when I would go to Sam Goody, and you put on the headphones and you'd sit in the booth and you would just listen to what was new. And I remember going there and it was just so fun. I could just escape everything that was going on in my little life at that time. So go listen to music. Listen to the music that makes you feel good. Because that discontinued, it's not discontinued. Music is always around. It's so good. Anyway, I thank you so much for joining me today. And I am so worked up. I think I had too much coffee. But I get excited when I can tell that retail is coming back. It makes me so happy, y'all. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Sorry It's Discontinued. If this episode brought back memories of Tower Records or Sam Goody, Camelot, or your favorite local record store, I want to hear about it. Share your memories in the comments or tag me on social media because every story is important. Every store has a story that is important. So shop your local stores, support your local sales associate, whether you're behind the counter or in front of it. Keep smiling. People will remember that long after they leave. And I will see you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Sorry It's Discontinued, the podcast that brings you the reality of retail and the people, brands, stores, and products we all love. If you enjoyed today's episode, hit follow, leave a review, or share it with a fellow retail warrior. You can always connect with me or support the show at sorryitsdiscontinued.com or buymeacoffee.com/sorrypodcast. Now, this podcast is independently produced and not sponsored by any brand, company, or organization. All views, opinions, and personal stories shared are their own and do not represent any retailer or brand mentioned. Brand names, product references, and service mentions are included for storytelling and commentary purposes only. But I thank you so much for sitting with me today. And remember, continue to shop in store, support your local stores and your local sales associates. You can even call them and order. It's amazing. And every visit helps keep these stores open so we can all continue enjoying real in-person retail therapy. And I'll see you next time. I appreciate you so much. Bye. Sorry. It's discontinued.